Closer to congestion pricing taking effect, we're getting a look at how much it could cost drivers to enter the city below 60th Street.
And who might be exempt or get some discounts? Arthur Chan live on the east side with more. What came out of today's Traffic Mobility Review Board meeting? Arthur, what can you tell us?
Steve, Teresa, we learned so much about how congestion pricing will go down in the city today. In particular, there's good news for drivers who come through a tunnel to get into the city. What we were not expecting to learn is the actual cost of congestion pricing. That cost was supposed to be a closely guarded secret that we weren't supposed to learn until next year. But in a surprising turn of events, we have a number tonight, and that number is $15.
Listen, I'm going to meet you at Fresco. We're going to have, and we're going to see how just
$23 to get there,
or 15 or $15, whatever it is.
Appearing on Good Day New York Monday morning, MTA Chairman and CEO Jan Lieber seemed to thread the line between announcement and jest when speaking with our Rosanna Scotto and Bianca Peters.
He already said 15, so you're holding it to 15.
Listen, I'll be happy to come back and debate this with you guys.
While it didn't seem like an official announcement that congestion pricing will cost $15, MTA sources tonight confirmed to Fox 5 Lieber wasn't joking. They say that's the current dollar amount on the table for cars entering the zone south of 60th Street in Manhattan, called the Central Business District, or CBD. Hours later, the MTA's Traffic Mobility Review Board unveiled key components of congestion pricing, beginning with how cars will be charged. Board Chair Carl Weisbrod saying drivers will only be charged when they enter the CBD. Cars are not charged for driving in it or leaving.
I just think that makes it much simpler for people.
The board has also agreed on the following: that drivers who already pay a toll going through a tunnel will receive a discount, also referred to as a crossing credit. Trucks will pay more depending on their size, since they take up more space, and commuter buses will be exempt from congestion pricing, along with specialized government vehicles. Low-income drivers will get a 50% discount after their first 10 trips.
Congestion pricing is a blind.
Inside the MTA board meeting, drivers demanded exemptions, including for taxis and for-hire vehicles like Uber and Lyft. To their relief, the board announced instead of drivers being charged a daily toll, a smaller per-toll fee will be charged to their passengers. Sources tell Fox 5 businesses that use vehicles smaller than a box truck, like vans, also get a break. They'll be charged the same as a regular car. All that's left to debate now are 4 scenarios to negotiate: the variables, which hours will be considered nighttime and discounted, how much of a discount the crossing credit will grant, and the per-ride toll for taxis and for hire vehicles. Transit experts credit the plan, which is still on track to start charging drivers beginning in May of next year. So here's what happens now. That congestion pricing panel is supposed to put together a report for the full MTA board to vote on October 25th. At that point, they're going to have public hearings to suss out those final variables. But really, the breaking news tonight appears to be what the MTA chairman and CEO said on Good Day New York this morning, that it looks like it'll be $15. That's the latest from here at the Queens Midtown Tunnel. Arthur Sheehan, Fox 5 News. Teresa, back to you.
All right.
First off, I'd like to give an all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh, who the world didn't really cause God, in the name of Yahushai, who the world didn't really cause Jesus Christ. So you saw it there. Congestion pricing is coming to New York City. All right. And it's going to look like you're going to be charged $15 for major crossings, anything that's going to be below 60th Street, which is going to be called the Commercial Business District, or the CBD. Now, the so-called white man needs to have a way to squeeze every penny out of his people, the people that he rules over, rather. All right, which is mainly you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the people that descend from them. All right. So I'm gonna just grab this in Haggai real quick. This is Haggai chapter 1, verse 6. It says, "Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes." All right, so not only is New York City one of the most expensive cities to live in when you consider the cost of living, all right, the rent, all right, compared to the wages. But on top of that, now it's going to cost a lot more money to even travel, all right? Let's say you have to drive to work, or maybe you live in Jersey and you need to commute. You need to come into work into the city. It's going to cost you even more money. And this is just more hell that we're catching in this place, man. This is why ultimately this place needs to be destroyed. All right. This is why ultimately this place just needs to be destroyed, man. Because the so-called white man is, matter of fact, let me just grab this real quick. Because I just thought about the scripture right now. It's a lot, yeah. And this is Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." Exactly. So right now, the people are mourning. All right. People are being escorted out of community board meetings because they're saying that this is unjust. And it is unjust. All right, $15. All right, for bridges that are free right now, it's just insane. You know, because it's not just, it's not just, oh yeah, the Queens Midtown Tunnel. It's not just that. What you're going to be getting charged for is the bridges and tunnels the bridges that were free at one point. The Williamsburg Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge. There's going to be no such thing as a no toll route these days. All right, once this goes into play. See how like when brothers are at camp, you take the no toll route, you end up taking, maybe the Manhattan Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge. Well, it's going to be $23 regardless of what bridge you take. All right. So anytime you're going uptown, it's going to be $23. All right. So let me grab this article here from Channel 4 News. New York City congestion pricing. How much will it cost drivers and who could get discount? As of now, it is not clear what the base fare to enter Manhattan south of 61st Street, but it could be anywhere from $9 to $23 per trip. All right. And it says what to know. These are the main points. It says MTA Chairman Janel Labor said the transit authority is on track to begin tolling drivers coming into the Manhattan below 60th Street in May 2024. As of now, it is not clear what the base fare to enter Manhattan's Central Business District is, will be set at, but it could be anywhere from $9 to $23 per trip. It says those who drive for a living as well as commuters into Manhattan say additional payment is unfair, while those in favor say the plan is necessary to reduce traffic and to fund the MTA. One of the biggest points of interest surrounding congestion pricing is how much drivers will have to pay and who, if anyone, could get discount. There may finally be an answer soon. The Traffic Mobility Review Board met Monday evening to decide on the controversial plan to set to begin in late spring 2024. It marks the final time the special panel will meet before announcing recommended toll rates. The board said they were not looking to set fixed price for the tolls, but rather represented 4 different scenarios that could occur. It remains to be seen what the price will be, but the board stated that it will likely enact so-called crossing credits so that those who already pay at the Lincoln and Holland Tunnel, for example, will not pay the full congestion fee. It was not clear how much these crossing credits would amount to, but it's possible that drivers coming from New Jersey via tunnels would get a break of around $4 to $7 off their congestion toll. The board posited. Well, that's garbage. That's trash. Because there was a graphic that I had seen online and I posted in one of the chats where it's $23 to cross the Lincoln Tunnel or the Holland Tunnel. It was $23 to cross either of those. So even if they do give you the max discount, which is $7, you're still paying $16 to get into Manhattan. This is drivers from Long Island and Queens using the Queens Midtown Tunnel could also get the same break, according to the board. Those who come over the George Washington Bridge and go south of 60th Street would see no such discount, however. Another key detail from the meeting, the board mentioned charging double the rate for other automobiles and full-size trucks would be charged to triple. Both measures could be done to help the MTA hit its revenue target. Overall, it appeared that few, if any, groups would be fully exempt from the tolls. All right. Now, you know what that means, right? If they're charging these full-size trucks, these tractor trailers 3 times, well, guess what? Guess who is going to take on that extra money? It's going to be the consumer of whatever products are being brought into the city. And pretty much, there's a bunch of information online. I'm going to cut off the article there and hit a couple scriptures real quick. Let me actually hit this first. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1, and it says, woe unto them the decree unrighteous decree and their right grievousness which they have prescribed. And that's right, man. This is an unrighteous decree. All right, it already costs. The gas is already high. Insurance is already high. Traffic is already bad. And they're saying that this is going to reduce traffic. No, people are going to pay the money, and now you're just going to be paying to be in traffic. This is an unrighteous decree. But that's what the so-called white man does. That's how you know who is in power. As I said earlier with the scripture in Proverbs, you know, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. Right now, there's a lot of mourning going on with this congestion pricing, because it just means that all the goods are going to cost that much more. You take an Uber is going to be, maybe your Uber was $40, the Uber is going to be 60 now, because that congestion pricing is going to be tacked on there. Oh yeah, you want to go have a nice dinner, you want to go out, you know, with the brothers, have a nice dinner in the city after going to the movies. Well, guess what? The bill would have been 100. Now it's going to be 160 for the same amount of food, because the restaurant needs to foot the bill of the trucks that need to come in. You go to the grocery store back then, with $100, you can get X amount of items. Well, expect that number of items to decrease even further, because now those trucks that are coming in from out of town to bring the goods here into the city are going to be charged extra money, and that's extra money that you as a consumer are going to have to foot. He says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Exactly, so destruction unto them who make these rules, man. This is Baruch chapter 2 verse 30, and it says, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. This is talking about the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the people that descend from them. It says, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. All right? So this is just a reminder that whenever you're going through something, the reason that you're going through something is because you're under captivity. And these prices, all right, this pricing, all right, this is just another example of the hell that we're going to have to catch in this place. That's why ultimately this place needs to go down. Because if it's up to Esau, the people would just be slaves, man. No pay, nothing. We got to pay to breathe. Maximum allowable numbers of breaths. If not, they start charging you extra. This is the society that we live in, man. This is the last scripture I'm going to bring out. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16. It says, cursed thou shalt be in the city, and cursed thou shalt be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Exactly. So ultimately, this just goes back down to the curses. And this is just Satan, all right, Esau just tightening the noose. This is just Esau tightening the noose and continuing to wreak havoc in the pockets of 2/3 of our people, the Israelites in general, all right? And everyone else who inhabits this place, man. That's why ultimately this place is going to have to go. And 2/3 of our people are going to have to go with them. You know, it's just that simple. All right. So, hey, man, congestion pricing. Be prepared for it. Be prepared for a $23 charge if you drive anywhere into the city. All right. Whether you're taking the Manhattan Bridge, the Ed Koch, the Williamsburg, or the Brooklyn Bridge, $23 to get into the city. So be ready for that and plan accordingly. But Lord willing, we don't even make it to spring 2024. And the Lord destroys this place before then. So I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Green Millstone who rule well, who continue teachers of truth, and salutations to you, Akim out there. I hope this lesson was informative and edifying. And until next time, shalom.